Welcome to another presentation at the East Trade Winds. Our guest is Catharine O'Leary from Join CIA Now. Follow this link for the ideal client free assessment at joincnow.com.
I'm here to talk about your ideal client and how to understand them a little bit better. Because one of the things that I learned in my 30 years of corporate life, where I worked for the likes of Apple and Adobe and Pepsi, always in that market research frame of mind. So, always asking a lot of questions of a lot of people around the world about what they needed, what they wanted, what they were challenged with, what was bothering them, and what they desired, and then taking that information and going into the corporate boardroom and figuring out the products, the services, the bundles, the offers that would help their ideal clients through that particular troubling time in their lives, figure out what soft drink and chips to serve at the Super Bowl. That was one of my jobs. But one of the things that I learned outside of the Fortune 50 is that a lot of businesses tend not to ask their clients questions. We tend to guess, especially as entrepreneurs. We are serving our clients with a problem that we've already solved for ourselves. And the problem or the issue with that is that once you're on the other side of a problem, you talk about it differently, right? You've solved it. You know what the solution is on the other side. You know what the next steps are. You don't talk about it in the weeds anymore, and your language changes. And, we're a little too far removed from the language that our ideal clients are using. So I like to call it the 3 a.m. question. So I'd like to talk a little bit about the 3 a.m. question today. What is your client's 3 a.m. question? Right? What is that one question that they wake up in the middle of the night worried about, wondering about, dreaming about that you and your business can help solve? So here's the trick though. At 3 a.m., I can tell you right now, at 3 a.m., almost nobody in the world wakes up thinking, oh my gosh, I wonder how I optimize my funnel. Like, I think me and one other person in the universe, maybe two, actually wake up thinking that, right? Like, I mean, they think, how am I going to pay the mortgage? How am I going to get clients? How am I going to solve this problem? How am I going to serve my customers? What is the language that they use? And what is the problem that in the weeds they're actually dealing with? In order to make market research a little bit more accessible and a little less scary, because it tends to be a little like, I got to talk to like 10 people and ask them questions. That seems scary to people. I actually created an AI app called the Ideal Client Profile that actually takes you through 4 questions about your business, right? So there are 4 questions around who do you serve? Is it individuals? Is it solopreneurs, entrepreneurs, medium, large businesses, or is it, military, nonprofit, or government? What do you do for them? Like, describe your business. Describe the 3 questions or the 3 problems, those 3 a.m. problems that you solve, right? And then describe the kind of the income range or the revenue range of the ideal client that you have. With those 4 questions about your business, you'll get a 9-page report about the ideal client that is attracted to that business. You'll get the psychographics, the demographics, the feelings, the customer journey, the little story about that particular client. Alex is a graphic designer and he's struggling with, and it gets into the 3 a.m. question, but it also gets into how your business can help them overcome that 3 a.m. question. Does that make sense? Because the 3 a.m. question helps you get more focused on who you serve so that you can better serve them, have more impact, and they can stay longer and spend more. Right? So the more focused that you are on your ideal client and their 3 a.m. question, the better your business is going to do. And the more impact that you're going to have with those ideal clients. Now, here's the trick. If you put all that information into the ideal client profile and it comes back with a profile of somebody that you don't want to work with, that's a problem in your messaging, right? Your messaging is actually going to be attracting the people that you don't want to be working with. Because I did one for the client intelligence agency, and it ended up being like the Fortune 50 people that I'd worked with already. And dear Lord, I do not want to go back to that life. Right? I was like, no, whoa, no, no, no. I'd been there, done that. Steve Jobs. Got that chapter in the book. I'm good. I had to go back and fix my messaging about how I describe my business and how I describe the problems that I solve in order to attract the ideal clients that I really wanted to be working with, that I knew that I was here to help. So it's a bit of both, where like it's, yes, it gives you the profile of your ideal client, but if it gives you a profile of someone you don't want to work with, then you know that you need to change your messaging. So this was a tool born of love last summer, well tested with a lot of market research and in-depth analysis, a lot of ChatGPT and other AIs as well. I don't just focus on ChatGPT, but I build these AI-enabled tools to help businesses really connect with their ideal clients. And this ideal client profile is my gift to everyone to use. You just go to joincianow.com and you'll actually join the community, create a password, and it's the ideal client profile. Answer the 4 questions, and you will get a 9-page report of your ideal client. And that should help you with not just understanding what your ideal client is going through, but your messaging. Is your messaging on target? Are you using the right language? Are you getting to the 3 a.m. question? Or are you trying to optimize funnels? Right? Are your offers aligned? Your client journey. How do your clients find you? How do they get to know you? How do they get to trust you? How do they buy from you? And how do they stay with you? And then, just a little bit about their support system, their daily life. A day in the life of Alex, a day in the life of Jane, to help you get to know them a little bit better. Because one of the things that marketers will tell you is that if you can talk to one person that represents your ideal client base, then you're further ahead than like 80% of the businesses out there that are trying to talk to the masses, right? So talk to Alex, talk to Jane. When you're doing your emails, when you're doing your posts, when you're doing your webinars, when you're doing your networking, keep that person and that personality in your mind, and it will take you a lot further in those conversations to finding the people that are meant to be your people, right? Because the rest of the universe, there's somebody else's people. So attract the best and release the rest because there's somebody else's best, right? There's more than enough people to help your people and let the others find their people, and that's fine. Concentrate on your tribe. Right? There are other tools on this community as well. I believe that everything can be a quiz or a survey, so I've turned almost everything into a quiz or an assessment of some sort to help people as they go through their business journey. And this is where you can also reach me and ask any questions. Everything I do is in my community because those are where my people are. And that's where I want to be hanging out because it's the coolest group on earth, in my humble opinion.
Unlock the full potential of networking with East Trade Wins. Are you eager to connect with our esteemed guest speaker and delve deeper into the ever-expanding universe of connections? Simply scan the QR code now and embark on a journey of endless opportunities. Join us at East Trade Wins, where we gather online via Zoom every Tuesday from 8 to 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Whether you're a seasoned professional or just starting out, you're welcome to connect with us. Seize the moment, register for free, and start exploring today. Fancy sharing your insights as a guest speaker? We're looking for you. Reach out to Wayne Pratt to ignite your speaking journey. Email him at wayne@motivateyou.ca or connect with Wayne on LinkedIn. Don't wait. Take action and be a part of a global community that's shaping the future of business networking.